Hello friends, and welcome to another Lumiapedia. I'm Cas Cross, your English Eternal Return caster, and today I'm back to introduce Eternal Return's newest character, István. István, the researcher turned test subject, is a spear-wielding character directly transferred from Aglaya. He gains stacks through his skills and basic attacks, then uses those stacks to get an additional effect for each of his skills. Additional variables to adapt to each situation and gain the upper hand in battle. Let's start by taking a look at his skills. His kit consists of his Q, Observation, W, Quantum Entanglement, E, Contour Integration, R, Wave Function Collapse, and his passive, Calculation. Passive, Calculation. István's next basic skill gains a variable after he uses his basic attack or skills a certain number of times. István's movement speed is increased after triggering a variable. Each skill used with calculation gains a variable effect, which is a key part of István's kit when it comes to engaging and surviving in fights. Because of that, managing his stacks properly is extremely important. István gains stacks for variable when he uses skills or basic attacks. These are kept until the effective variable is triggered, so it's critical to manage his calculation stacks ahead of time. Q. Observation. István lunges his spear, dealing skill damage to enemies. Variable. Alter István dashes forward and spins, slowing nearby enemies and dealing skill damage. He deals increased damage to enemies with HP below 30%. Thanks to his short cooldown, this skill can be paired with his basic attack, dealing higher damage. It also helps stack calculation efficiently, even outside of fights. Since the variable deals greater damage to enemies with health below a certain threshold, timing it right can drastically swing a fight in your favor. W. Quantum Entanglement. István swings his spear, dealing skill damage to enemies. Hitting enemies grants him a shield for a certain period of time. Variable. Alter István dashes forward and swings his spear, dealing skill damage to enemies. Hitting enemies restores his health based on his lost HP. The skill grants a shield on hit, helping István mitigate his damage taken and stay in the fight. The variable restores István's HP based on his missing health, making it especially effective at distracting his opponents. Using this skill effectively can make a big difference in the outcome of a fight. E. Contour Integration. István dashes quickly in the targeted direction, dealing skill damage to enemies in his path and reducing their defense. Variable. Alter István leaps to the target location of Contour Integration, dealing skill damage to nearby enemies and knocking them airborne. This skill can be often used to close gaps during fights, and since it reduces the enemy's defense on hit, you can deal even more damage by following up with other skills. Triggering the variable when engaging in fights not only ensures a safer start, but can also lead to powerful skill combos that are hard for enemies to counter. That's why it's important to manage his calculation stacks effectively. R. Wave Function Collapse. István leaps towards his targeted enemy character, dealing skill damage and slowing them. During this time, he's unstoppable, and slowed enemies slowly recover speed. He then creates 3 variables around his enemy. 3 variables. After a short delay, 3 Alter Istváns dash toward the center, dealing skill damage to enemies in range. This targeted skill is designed to isolate and eliminate key enemy DPS, so it's crucial to hit with the 3 variables to maximize its effectiveness. While using this skill, István becomes unstoppable, allowing him to avoid CC and get into enemy lines. Use it wisely to turn the tide of battle. István can unlock multiple variables through his studies in quantum physics, but can he really put them to use in the heat of battle? Head to Lumia Island and help him with his research. That's all for today's Lumiapedia. Make sure to join the experiment and tell us what you think. Until next time.